We are here today to do some patterning experimentation. We all have a lot of different guns, different choke tubes. Throughout the waterfowl season, people are shooting different rounds, and we think we have a hunch of what works for us. We know what works better when we pull the trigger and birds die.
Yeah.
Better. However, we're gonna test the patterning on them today, so it'll give us a really good solid data point to back up the hunches that we have. We've patterned shotguns before, but we're going to do a very extensive one today. Everything from 10, 12, 16, 20, and 28 gauge. The only thing we're not shooting is a 410. We don't shoot 410s.
You don't have a 410, yeah.
I have a 410. I have two of them.
Okay. Well, you have a 410.
Don't shoot them.
Yeah. Well, your daughter has a 410.
Yeah, I have a single shot 410 too, full size.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
You know why? Because they're useless.
We're going to shoot Boss, we're going to shoot Hevi, we're going to shoot Apex, we're going to shoot Tungsten blends, we're going to shoot straight Bismuth, and we also have a little bit of steel mixed in here. We're going to shoot them out of a variety of choke tubes out of every gun, and we'll see what happens. Again, to Brady's point, we have a hunch, but let's do the 30-inch circle at 30 yards and see what actually happens.
That's what I was just going to say. For those of you that are going to ask, you know, most times when guys pattern a shotgun, 30 yards, 30-inch circles. So that's the same formula we're going to shoot every single shot at. And yeah, ready to begin the experimentation. Round number one, Boss 10 gauge, 3.5 inch, 3.5 stack load copper plated bismuth. Browning BPS gun and a Jebs 680 choke. So we'll see how this joker works.
This is the first one.
It's pretty good. There are some flyers.
Quite a few flyers.
Have you ever seen the show Forged in Fire?
Yeah.
You know when they're doing the tests on the blades? Mm-hmm. That Asian guy?
Yeah.
When it works, he goes, "It will kill."
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So will this. On to the next. Same gun, Browning BPS with a Jebs 680 choke. This is heavy metal, 3.5 inch, 10 gauge, 1 3/4 ounce, number 4s. This one's not great. A little high and a little left. I could have pulled it, but thought I was aiming right at the dot. But maybe not. The Boss patterned better than the Hevi. Even if I pulled a little high and left, the Boss was a tighter pattern. It did better. Okay, same gun. Browning BPS, Jebs 680 choke. This is the round that I love. Apex, straight TSS, 3.5 inch shell, 2.5 ounce charge, 7s. There's a lot of pellets in this baby. And we already know them to be deadly, deadly lethal. But stoked to see what it does on paper. Woo, that joker kicks. The 2.5 ounce one, sending all that heavy TSS out of there. What the? Hang on. Lost a tooth. All right, let's go see what this baby looks like. That You got a few flyers up here, but that right there, a little bit high. That's probably me, but that is a tight freaking pattern. You shoot that and you hit something, that's TSS, it is all the way dead. Death, that's a sign of death. Skull and bones. I'm a terrible artist.
You don't say.
I mean, I try, right?
There we go.
Killer round. I love it.
What I was saying is that it's really interesting that this, I can't remember what I was saying now.
A tungsten likes to be constricted.
Yeah, it's apparent it likes to be constricted, but what's crazy is the difference between the bismuth and this. Like, this is a big difference.
Oh yeah.
And your margin for error, although this is really sweet, but your margin for error is really low.
Not
like,
only
you got to
that,
be hitting them. Like, you got to be on them. You're either going to kill them or miss them.
Yep. The nice thing about this too is it's crazy to think that all those pellets are likely going to pass through the bird.
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff goes straight through them.
It's why that, I mean, it blows a hole in them.
Jeez Louise, that's a death round there.
It is. But again, margin for error really low.
Yeah, you're going to want to lead them.
Yeah, you're going to want to make sure you're on your shit. That's cool. That is really, really cool.
This is my 10 gauge BPS. It's Rob Roberts T3, which is their tightest choke. Be interested to see how this does against the Jebs and the factory one. Shoot, Boss, 3.5 inch, 3.5s out of it first.
The 10 gauge just like knocks that whole thing
It
back.
sends so much wood out the
You
back
can
when
hear
shoot
it.
The tent. Oh yeah.
That's a pretty killer pattern.
It's greasy.
And I mean, consistent with the fact that it's like they're up, you float a goose, pretty even. I mean,
It's great
that's
pattern.
a good pattern. That's really good. We would have to look at the Jebs versus this, but that's a really good pattern. For sure.
Really consistent that they're all above the line.
Yeah.
Like if you were to
Dude.
draw a line across the center.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a dead bird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a dead bird for sure. I'm interested to see how the Hevi does out of this choke, whether it's the shell, because it didn't pattern great out of your Jebs.
Right.
So I'm interested to see. Hevi, number 4s out of the 10 gauge.
That wad just smoked it, dude.
Yeah.
Wham.
Take a look.
I called that you shot that one way left.
Really?
You flinched so hard.
Huh?
Huh?
I didn't feel like I did. I feel like I was...
You literally went like this. Like you had
And
an
because your
epileptic
gun
seizure.
is turned to the side a little bit, that would do that too.
100%.
It's,
That's a miss. Or
it
you,
depends on which way the goose flying.
It's an ass shot.
it's an ass shot.
Still better. I think it's...
Pattern is still good though.
The pattern
Pattern's solid.
is...
It's not as good as the Boss.
No, but it's... This pattern is better than the Jebs with the Hevi.
Yeah, maybe. What we don't know is what went over here.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
the
we got
the
flyers.
center's up here. Or the center, I'd say, is right here. You know?
We got flyers, 2.5 feet apart.
Yeah.
3 feet apart. Actually, yeah, 3
I
feet
think the
apart.
pattern density is better
Then the Jebs.
than the Jebs.
Yeah. But regardless, it proves that Boss and Bismuth, copper-plated Bismuth, is patterning better than steel.
Anything with
Bismuth
steel
blend.
in it.
Yep. Any sort of blend.
Anything with steel in it just does not do as well.
This is my 1957 side-by-side 10 bore. Been shooting this for about 3 years. Last year we didn't get to shoot it very much, but this is a gun that I really enjoy shooting. We've never patterned it, and we've questioned whether or not the left barrel shoots a little left and the right barrel shoots a little right, especially at 30 yards. That bird will be coming in, put it right on him, and it'll tip him over. Remember, we had that one where he came right in and put it right on him, dead nut center, and he just rolled over this way. So we're gonna learn. We're gonna start with the Boss 3.5 stack. I have a modified choke in the front trigger. So we'll go ahead and send her on down the way. And
What barrel is that, your front trigger?
left barrel.
Okay.
Yep. Left barrel's front trigger, and yep, modified. And this is these are 30-inch barrels on this. Just center her up here. Yep. Nope. Right. I'm trying to think of like.
You got a bit of a flinch with that gun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it'll knock you. Just like. So, right barrel, front trigger. I couldn't remember, but it makes sense because I usually only shoot one shell.
It might be part of the reason you miss them to the side sometimes. You were overcompensating with the gun.
I'm trying to put it right in the center.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try this again. Boss out of the right barrel. It makes sense.
I'm really fascinated to see this one.
Let's see what happens.
Not for the pattern, but for the
Left and right.
left and right.
It's certainly more right than left.
Totally.
So, makes
Well,
sense.
and there could be more right that we don't know about.
Right?
You said you do have fulls for that gun?
Yeah. So what I could do is I'll put it in the back trigger. I'll do the same one in the back trigger and see if it shoots more on this side.
Oh yeah.
Just try it out.
Oh, for sure.
The front trigger just feels so much more natural because that back trigger sucked way in there. So you really have to like move your whole positioning back.
Yeah.
But the pattern is good, like as far as distribution here, but it is right.
I would
Full would tighten it up.
I would switch to the fulls.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't bring them.
No, I'm just saying. It's not terrible, but seeing what you saw last time with the full and we've seen with the fulls, because you can shoot, it'd be a hard sell to make to stay with the modified in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Let's shoot out of the left barrel. Okay, so we shot the front trigger, which was the right barrel. Took the chokes out, looked at it. It was a light modified choke in the right side. There was a straight mod on the left side, which is the back trigger. So what we found on that first right barrel is it did push a little bit right. So we're gonna see if the back trigger and left barrel does the same thing. I'm gonna shoot the same load. 3.5 Boss.
Hang on 2 seconds.
Big camera guy over here.
Huge camera guy.
Okay, go ahead.
Listo? Okay. Oof. Love that.
Oh, I wasn't recording.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Huge camera guy. I didn't, I'm like, I really want to record this in slow-mo. Didn't even hit record.
Let's check it out. So, left barrel. Straight modified choke. Way more centered. Again, above the center line.
Did not pull left.
Didn't pull left at all. I was pretty conscious to keep it right in the center. That's interesting.
Yeah.
What we should do is we should try putting the foals in it.
Oh, it'll
We
look
can
so
try
much
it.
better.
Try it a little bit.
I mean, that
Yeah.
pattern kill them for sure, but
Well, I'm
here's the thing, at like 40, 45, like that could open up quite a bit.
quite a bit, yeah. It's proven though, that setup we got going on right there.
Well, it kills them, no doubt.
But it'd be better with a full. So we're gonna go ahead and probably swap those out. I just didn't bring them, so.
Browning BPS, 32-inch barrel, factory full choke, Boss 3.5 copper plated, Bismuth. Ooh, man, that feels good. Just feels like power.
I mean, it looks like power.
Maybe the best one yet.
That's really good.
There's no wonder you can pick out the high flyers with that one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as pretty of a shotgun pattern as it gets.
Yeah, I like it bigger like that.
Yeah.
Not all stacked up on the top.
Yeah, that's full choke.
Yeah.
And a 32-inch barrel.
Yeah. This is not a round I would normally shoot nor recommend, but it is a Federal Speed Shock straight steel 10 gauge. It's only 1.5 ounces, but it is 2-shot. So we'll see what it's like, factory full choke out of the BPS.
Let's see how she did. Pretty classic.
Not as good.
Not good.
Yep.
Hang on. Let me get like the.
I mean, you kill something with it for sure.
You bet. At least
But-
knock it down.
Well, it's steel shot, so you're just gonna knock it down, then you gotta follow it up or have a really quick dog.
Yeah.
Quick recap on the 10 gauges. They are indeed, once were, still are, and will forever be the Lord's gauge.
Yeah, far more superior patterning.
They pattern better than everything. They do excellent. They shoot a wide variety of rounds. And they are definitely the most deadly lethal shotgun you can use when waterfowl hunting. We love to shoot them goose hunting specifically.
Yes.
But Matt side by side, my American flag BPS here. All things created equal. If we were told we could only grab one gun and go hunting with it, is what we're going to grab.
Yes, absolutely. We also, from a patterning standpoint, the Boss patterned really well.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as the Pure Tungsten.
Yeah, the pure tungsten. I mean, that stuff freaking patterns like that big. And
Yeah, the Boss pattern was double the size. Double the size of the
but still
Pure
a nice,
Tungsten.
consistent, full pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually think I like the Boss pattern maybe even a little bit better. More margin for error.
Totally. Yeah.
But all in all, 10 bores, gosh, they truly are the best.
If any of you watching happen to have a 10 gauge for sale, please reach out to us via message or telephone, Pigeon, Pony Express. Please let us know about your 10 gauge for sale, because for the last few years we've been buying them and we are still in the market for your 10 gauges. If they kick too hard, please call us.
We're going to shoot 3 rounds out of this. 2 rounds out of this. 2 or 3 rounds out of this. We'll start with the Apex. This is the TSS Steel Blend. This is the one that they're most excited about. This is the one that everybody buys. This is the one that we used a bunch last year. This is the one we're going to start with. 30 yards. It's also, it's kind of wore off. All right, we found a box so we know exactly which shells these are. It's the Apex Tungsten Steel Blend. It's 7.5 tungsten and it's BB steel. So they're stacked on top of each other. We're gonna see how they pattern. We did shoot these a lot last year. Shooting it out of the Beretta A400 with the modified choke. 30 yards, 30-inch circle. Sender. Let's see.
Terrible.
Pretty good. That's a hold problem, you know, that's a little bit left versus dead on. But I mean, not very much loss. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Not very tight.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 BBs out.
I'm just saying, like, it's crazy the difference, like, big holes.
Yeah, modified.
Yeah.
Ideally, the modified would cover this whole thing. But in general, you're going to have it to where you're going to have gaps in it. Okay, so we shot the modified out of this. You saw it. It had a bunch of gaps in it. It all held inside the 30-inch circle, but didn't look super shiny. So we're going to shoot the exact same shell out of the same gun, but we're going to switch the choke to a full choke. That's what we're going to do now.
I'm curious to see if the full is too tight for the steel.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've literally never even shot a full, like at waterfowl ever.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you're missing out, bro.
I was taught to shoot a modified, and I have ever since.
I think you're gonna like it.
I
I
do.
definitely like it with bismuth. I'm curious to see what this one does.
I've
Is the full a 680?
1860 is what it says.
1860. Okay.
Yeah, I've just never done it.
Oh, it's the Lord's errand.
And I do have days where I miss a lot, but
There's
For
some
the
pigeons. Too bad you don't have the full choke in.
for the most part,
That'd be so awesome.
if they come over
Just,
here,
like,
we'll get
pull
them.
up and send her. Oh man, they're coming.
Oh, they're coming around to the barn.
Here
So we're gonna
come.
try.
Get a load.
We're
Here
gonna
they
try
come.
the exact same load.
Here they come, Matt.
Man,
Get
you don't want
ready.
to be loaded up.
I'm loaded up.
Here they
They're out there.
Full choke. Send it. Yeah! Yeah, the full choke works well, baby.
2.
Oh, you got yourself a double.
That's how the full choke works here, boys.
Yeah, I mean, we can pattern it, but
We can talk all the shit we want about the actual, patterning on the board, but proof's in the pudding.
the man just flock shot a flock of pigeons from about 50 yards and dumped 2 of them in one shot.
I did have a good lead on them,
Well, obviously, I mean,
but they were all together, all
Yeah.
sucked up together.
that's great.
Okay, we're gonna try this again. A400 12 gauge, full choke with the Apex blend. All right.
Different kick.
No, I mean, same kick.
Yeah.
Anytime you shoot a gun at the range, it's kind of just kicks you.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what you would expect. A little bit tighter pattern. We only have 1 BB outside the circle.
That's
Quite a bit tighter pattern.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a better pattern.
Way better.
Yeah. So specifically for at least the TSS steel blend, this works way better. What you're telling me is that for the bismuth, that'll shoot way better as well.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing you can shoot a full choke with is steel, period.
Yeah.
So the fact that this looks like this, anything that's not steel is going to pattern better and better and better with a full.
Well, that's a pretty dang good pattern. So I feel like go ahead and leave that one in. Boss?
Yeah, shoot a boss load out of it with full.
Yep, with the full Boss 12 gauge number 4 out of the Beretta A400 with the full choke. Let's see what happened.
Guarantee you're gonna like it.
That's pretty dang good, boys. That's really good.
Yeah.
Boss 12, number 4s. Out of the Beretta with the full choke.
How does that stack up against the blend?
Pretty similar. I mean, there's more
This is more consistent.
and more pellets because that's a BB and
Right.
7.5s.
Oh,
Whereas this is all 4s,
got it.
right? So there's more of these.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a good pattern right there.
Totally.
That's like the perfect pattern.
And we're shooting a little bit on the left side anyways. Like we're not shooting perfectly square.
Yeah. Generally what I'm noticing is we're shooting up and left, which makes sense because a lot of times you'll float birds, right? This is your impact point. You're going to aim here.
Yeah, the bottom edge of them.
Uh-huh. Yep, dig it.
That's great. That's a great pattern.
That's a killer pattern.
The Boss number 4s.
Was
That's a
to be
killer.
expected.
To be expected, yeah.
Okay, gonna go to the 28 gauge now. So this is my Beretta A400 Upland Magnum. I'm gonna start, and I have a full choke in this, factory full. Matt's gonna shoot in a minute in his gun, and he's got mod and improved cylinder in his. So we're gonna shoot full through this one and see. I'm gonna start with the Boss 28 gauge, 3-inch, 3.5 load. So we'll see how she rolls here. Go see what she looks like.
Dead center.
I mean, the pattern I don't hate, but it's shockingly large for a full choke. Somebody once told me the 28 gauge pattern's better than any other gauge or shotgun, and I'm here to tell you they were lying. Because the 10 gauge is far superior. That's full choke, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the full pattern.
Yeah.
Not awesome.
Kills them.
Yeah, oh yeah. But it makes me wonder why I would. Well, we're going to find out what mod looks like, but it's crazy.
And there's just not a lot there either. So it's got good, it's dispersed pretty well. You know, you're going to be shooting ducks between 30. I mean, this is the longest shot that we'd be taking. So that does, you know, say something. It would be tighter at
I mean, it would for
25,
sure.
20, 15. I mean, you think about our shots with these things normally, especially out here.
Yeah,
I mean, they're 15 yards.
yeah. I do agree.
We're going to shoot the 28 gauge now. I got my CZ Sharptail. It's got the pistol grip on it, single trigger. We're going to shoot the mod barrel. And we're going to shoot the same exact load that Brady just shot out of the full, out of that Beretta. It's the Boss 3-inch, 3.5 stack. Let's see what it looks like. Makes sense.
I'm going to be honest.
It's even worse.
Hate everything about it.
Yeah,
Full chokes or die.
full choke's the way to go.
Man, that is giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of holes in that thing.
I feel like the takeaway of this is that, you know, the Boss pattern's really well, but you have to constrict it. You have to shoot it out of a full choke or tighter than full. And even in your duck guns.
I think so.
Yeah. It's just not something, and you know, I hear people talk about it, but, you know, maybe I just didn't put enough merit behind it when they talked about it. But I mean, this is proof that a full choke is the way to go, no matter what. So
Basically,
we're putting a
for
full,
everything in waterfowl.
we're putting a full choke in all the guns. Well, I am.
So,
You already got them in yours.
yeah, but yeah, full is the way.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's eat some pizza.